Hello, students. I am Dr. Subodh Kesharwani, working with Indira Gandhi National Open University as an associate professor. And the topic which we are going to talk today, that is e-payment system. This topic is quite contemporary in nature because when you talk about the electronic payment system, the electronic payment system had changed with the change of time. There was a time when we just concentrate on the stereotype currencies or cash-based transactions. But right now, the whole philosophy had been changed, and this cashless society had bring a paradigm shift in this direction. So the whole world moved from brick and mortar mode to click and mortar mode, and we have seen that how the e-commerce, how the electronic lending, and how the e-based transaction had come up, where what we have observed that e-payment system is going to play a very vital role. So if you talk about the beauty behind the e-commerce is nothing but how the electronic payment system is going to be governed and how the gateways are going to be developed. Because when you talk about the gateways, you have to talk about the contemporary manner, how the things are going to be changed. So prior to go into the depth of this topic, we just want to throw a light what exactly the cashless society is. Because when you talk about the cashless society, you talk about the use of the plastic money, use of the wallets, or the virtual currency which is just knocking a door. So these are the contemporary ways by which the society is going to be cashless, and this electronic payment system is done. And the way things are moving from brick and mortar mode to click and mortar mode, the role of cashless society is quite contemporary, quite pivotal in this. So there is no escaping the fact that we are already on our way towards a cashless society, which brings us to the question, why do we need a cashless society? Because when you are going cashless, not only eases one's life but also helps authenticate and formalize the transactions that are done. This helps to curb corruptions and the flow of black money, which results in increase of economic growth. So what we have observed that when you are more talking about the cashless society, it's directly inclined towards the growth of the country, growth of the economy of the country. So this is something which is going to play a very vital role. So when you go more into depth of e-payment system, what exactly the e-payment system is. So if you see in the present scenario, there is a paradigm shift in the payment methodologies, and this is definitely going to give learners and knowing about the change in the business. Because when you're going to bring change in the business, talking more about the contemporary commerce, either it could be e-commerce or m-commerce, this e-payment system is quite important. So in today's competitive world, you need to think one step ahead to chase your competitor. And how you're going to chase your competitor with the prompt services, and this cashless transaction is one of the way by which the prompt service can be done. So because you make the payment, a consumer makes the payment, and automatically what happen, the e-commerce working starts. So EPS is a trending innovation and business policy, no doubt present better insight to drive the business into right direction. So it also provides business to define their own strategies about the development in the existing product, modifications to consider for the future product, sales, marketing, promotions, and distribution of the product in the existing and the new market. Because what we observe that when you want to enter into the new market with the contemporary thought, with the technological thought, this e-payment system is quite contemporary in nature. So there are certain benefits of cashless society or the non-cash society, is that it's reduce operation cost, improve performance of the bank, because there are certain gateways which are given by the banks or by the e-commerce portals. So it saves time, and cost of the people and enterprise are going to be narrowed down. So it's improve efficiency in managing supervising of state management agencies. And what we have talked about, that it makes economy and its activities, and the society is going to be benefit by and large. So there are certain terminologies which we used to talk prior to going into the depth of this electronic payment system, the payment gateway. And there are two things which are quite ubiquitous and required utmost attention, because the payment gateway is a merchant service provided by an e-commerce application service provider that authorizes credit card or direct payments processing for e-business, online retailers, brick and clicks, or traditional brick and mortar. So the gateway is quite important, because when you talk about the gateway, there are certain securities which need to be enabled, because ultimately the gateway is not going to done everything. So what firewall you have used, how much secure the payment is, because when you talk about the payment in an Indian perspective, we usually follow follow the two layer of security when the payment goes. First is this credit card and debit card, and second is the OTP password, that is one time password which need to be put into that. This is quite important. So in India we always believe in the two layer of security. Now the second thing is that the legal tender, because that is more important, because when you make the payment and the payment is through banks or through the other mode, sometimes with the wallets, but more or less it is linked with the plastic money. Either it could be a debit card or credit card. So legal tender is a money that is recognized by the law of the land as valid for payment of debt. So legal tender is the national currency such as paper money and coins, and that is declared by law to be valid payment for debts and financial obligations. The Indian rupee is the de facto legal tender currency in this direction. So what we have observed, that as the name suggests, an electronic payment system or e-payment system refers to the payments of goods or services over the internet without the use of cash or check. So anything which is cashless is going to be part of the e-payment, and the system that permits online payment between parties using an electronic proxy of a financial tender, and tender is come from the legal tender. So the electronic substitute is backed by financial institution or trusted by the intermediaries. Intention is very clear that it is going to turn as a substitute form of payment to the physical cash, check or the other financial tender. So if you see this particular image, you will find out that at the one end the customers is there, and on the other hand we have got the gateways or the banks or the checking services is there. So what we have seen, that when the consumer make the payment or put the commodity in the shopping cart, what is happening, that after the shopping cart approve the things, it asks for the payments. Then the virtual terminal is there. Then you have got POS terminals, which is point of sale terminals, and EBPP electronic invoices are there. So what we have observed, that there are certain things which are there, how we are going to do that, and consumer is at one end, then the banks are there, and finally when the banks approve the payment, and in between the data is on the cloud. So whatever the data of the individuals are there, it is put on the cloud, and finally from there the things are there. So if you go more into the depth of e-cash processing, you will find out that consumers buy e-cash from bank, and bank sends e-cash bits to consumers after changing that amount plus fee, and consumer sends e-cash to merchant. So this merchant checks with bank that e-cash is valid, check for forgery or fraud, and bank verifies e-cash is valid, parties complete transactions. The very good example, the wallets we have. What we have seen in the wallet, that they are the one who are not directly linked with the e-commerce portals, but they work as an enabler, they work as a aggregators, and they are involved in just facilitating the payment. So once the payment once you log in their portal, they fetch the account and collect the money and then paid, and there are certain charges which they used to put on that. So what are the characteristics of e-payment? If you go more into the depth of these characteristics of e-payment, you will find out it is bifurcated into the four important ingredients, that is acceptability, then you have convertibility, then flexibility and efficiency. So if you see, there is with the change with the commerce, with the change in, we have already talked about electronic commerce in our previous lectures, and the topic was curtain raiser to e-commerce. In that we have observed that how e-commerce is changing the face of the country, face of the economy, and with that change in e-commerce, the e-commerce had come up, and the important ingredient which is work in the backdrop as far as e-commerce is concerned is the e-payment system. So this e-payment is known in a different manner. Somewhere it is in the form of electronic fund transfer, or e-banking is there. So we have a separate session on e-banking, which is definitely going to talk about the certain nomenclatures which are used in e-banking, so that one can know. It could be EFT, it could be NEFT, RTGS, or IMPS, and these are the things which are there. So we will definitely go more into the depth of that when we have a elaborative session on that. So this e-commerce payment system facilitates the acceptance of electronic payment for online transactions. So it is also known as sample of EDI. So what electronic data interchange is doing, it is just a replica of that. So e-commerce payment systems have become increasingly popular due to the widespread of use of internet-based shopping and banking, because what is going on in the present scenario, as we have already talked in e-commerce, that with the change of time, the things had been changed, and it is not like that the product which have got a physical appearance is governed through e-commerce. there are perishable items, there are the food items which are massively used with the help of e-commerce. And why we are talking about the commodities which have got a physical existence? The service industry, the learning industry is changing, electronic learning industry is changing, and where we observe that e-payment system had played a very important role. Students or want to learn certain things, they want to go for e-tutoring, so where they pay the amount through e-payment systems, and finally the tutor facilitate them online. So this is one of the modus operandi which is changing, or rather we can say bringing the paradigm shift. Now there are certain numerous payment systems which required, like traditional credits are there, which was somewhat we can say a commerce kind of. Then debit and the credit card, or the charge cards are there. And if you talk about the usage, the credit card have got a 90% usage if you compare with all the payment systems. And when you talk about B2B transaction, or between the business to business transactions, there you find out less. But when you talk about B2C transaction, that is business to consumer transactions, there this role of the credit card is quite omnipresent. So digital wallet is there, then you have got e-cash, you've got mobile payments and e-checks. So mobile payment is also where, with the help of certain wallets which are providing this mobile recharge. And when you go for the recharge, either it could be MobiWik, it could be FreeCharge, it could be Paytm wallet. So what we observe that when you do certain mobile payments, you get certain cashbacks, and that cashbacks you can use it for the payment of your utility bills, or use it for the certain e-commerce shoppings. So what we have observed that with the change of time, the change of concept had been changed. And when you go more into the depth of this classification of e-payment methods, you will find out it had been bifurcated into two things, that is credit payment system and cash payment system. So credit payment system talks about the credit card, the e-wallet, the smart card. Smart cards are the plastic cards with a microprocessor that can be loaded with funds to make transactions, and also known as chip cards. Whereas e-wallet is a form of prepaid account that stores users' financial data like debit and credit card information to make an online transactions. So whenever you want to recharge your e-wallet, you can go fetch your particular credit card or debit card, and you can transfer the money from that. So this is one of the way by which you can have the money in your wallet always. On the other hand, when you talk about the cash payment system, it is called direct debit, it is called e-check, e-cash, or stored value card. And when you go more into the depth of, you will find out that cash payment system is a financial transaction in which the account holder instructs the bank to collect a specific amount of money from his account electronically to pay for goods or services. So there are certain classifications which are there, and if you go more into the depth of this, you will find out there is electronic bill presentment and payment, which we usually call EBPP. This is a new philosophy which had been created, and what we observed that these are facilitates consumers to pay their utility bills. So it is a fairly new technique that allows consumers to view and pay bills electronically. There are a significant number of bills that consumers pay on a regular basis, which include power bills, water, oil, internet, phone services, mortgage, car payment system. So wherever the bill generates after certain intervals, say on a monthly basis, automatically it can give the budge. It can navigate consumers that during this particular period, your bill is going to be due. And on the other hand, it is providing the real time basis, like what could be the next bill, your bill is going to be generated, this kind of message it is going to give to the consumers, and the deadline is going to over. So what is going on, that it is navigating, the system is enable payments to made by consumers, given that the amount appearing on the bill is correct. Sometimes the authenticity also matters. So there are certain examples which are going on, and some of the this e-commerce portal have a tied up with some of the vendors, like for charge of the setup box, either they have tied up with Tata Sky or Airtel, setup boxes, or dish TV, something like that. On the other hand, like the recent tie-up was with Amazon Pay with Bharat Gas, where what they had done, that you can pay through Amazon Pay, and the cylinder will be automatic filled and delivered. So this is the model which is going on. And what I mean to say that there was a time when it was restricted to the commodity buying and selling, but which have a physical appearance. And but it is now, right now, there's a it had brought a paradigm shift, and it is used for the intangible goods also. So there are certain pros and cons of a cashless society. When you talk about the pros is that lower crime rate, reduce money laundering and tax evasion, easier exchange of money while traveling because you don't have to carry and you can swipe the card, and that card is equipped with the password or two-layer of security which I was talking on. Then control over spending habits, then decreased chance of corruption. So this is a positive point of the cashless society. When you go more talking about the payment system, other things, then private data may be exposed to breach of security, technical issues can hinder access to money, older generation may not be as comfortable with digital payment, then difficulty in managing finances. And this is where things are going to be changed, because the big data analytics, the data analytics is going to play a very important role. Overhead fee might be charged at a time, because somewhere what had happened right now, sometimes back, if you talk about 3 to 1 hour 2 hour back, the system was quite different, but right now the model had been changed, where we observe that these the payment systems are right now not free. They are imposing some small amount, maybe maybe 1% or maybe 1.5% service tax. So these are things which is there. So when you go more into the depth of this thing, you will find out that e-commerce, on the other hand, what we observe that this change is also coming up, and e-commerce fraud is going at 30% per year. If you follow the security rules, this kind of risk is coming. So what we have observed that there are certain changes which are coming right now, and payment as a service is quite important. If you go more into the depth, you will find out PaaS is a cloud-based approach to commercial payment. So this is works as a payment as a service, and PaaS is a marketing phrase used to describe a software as a service to connect a group of international payment systems. So what we have observed that right now we are moving from this brick and mortar servers to cloud-based servers. So when you more talking about the cloud-based approach, because that this plastic money data or the wallets data is quite high, and those who are registering for the or login for the particular e-commerce portal, more or less they are bound to go for the e-payment systems. So this brick and mortar mode of payment, which we usually called cash based payment, is now eliminating. So what we observe that this is going to play a very important role. PaaS is a marketing phrase used to describe a software service to connect group of international payment system. So PaaS is designed to allow merchants and other market participants to utilize local, regional and global payments options through a single interface. The complexity of moving funds between provider is handled by PaaS layer and is hidden from the users. Generally speaking, there is only one interface between a merchant and a PaaS. So essentially it moves your cash cycle into the cloud, and the good part is that it is bringing a paradigm shift and moving the cash cycle into the cloud, and helps you to automate the back office financial process from end to end. So in addition to this, instead of charging customer fee based on transaction volume, we are putting everything on cloud so that thing can be more streamlined. So PaaS software is easy to use and manage. It is highly scalable because it does not need to be downloaded or installed on individual devices in order to onboard an entire finance term of finances. What we observe that the consumer trend is changing, and what we observe that consumers are very easily switch over from one brand to another, or sometimes one portal to another portal. So when you are employing this kind of facility like payment as a service, you are basically knowing the financial credit worthiness of the consumers, and this financial credit worthiness is going to play a very vital role, because it is providing a roof to the company that what could be the platform, the what could be the the way the consumers are going on. If the consumers are having a financial crunch, then very easily the things are going to be changed. So there are certain e-payment system for e-commerce, and what we observed that PayPal was the one who was originated maybe a decade, 2 decades back, and later on what we observed that a lot of players had entered, and these players are equipped with the Visa or Mastercard, which is used in the plastic money. And then the wallet trend is coming up, where what we observe that the wallet is going to play a very vital role, and the wallet is something one step ahead to the plastic money, because what we have talked about, the plastic money nomenclature, depends like debit card or credit card. So when you talk about the credit card, it has certain constraints. Uh, and when you talk about the debit card, it is linked with the bank accounts. So when you talk about the wallets, wallet is providing you a roof where you can directly fetch the amount, directly you can generate the amount from the credit card also. So you can use that amount for the particular purpose. So this is the good thing which is going on. But on the other hand, the these uh, these promoters are quite intelligent now. They are putting some service tax, service charges on it, so that sometimes when you transfer the money from the plastic money to the wallets, the some amount can be put as a service charge. So in that case, it becomes somewhat costlier or somewhat expensive affair. So what we have observed that this is the model which is there now. There are certain benefits and advantages, benefits, advantages, and disadvantages also. If you go more into the benefits of using an e-payment system, you will find out that e-payment systems are made to facilitate the acceptance of electronic payments for online transactions. And the intention is very clear, reaching more clients from all over the world, which results in more sales. Because uh, as I have talked about, the credit card had certain constraints, and when you transfer the money from credit cards to wallet, you have got a full liberty to use that money. So this results in more sales and frequent use uh, of that particular money which is in the wallets. So it's more effective and efficient transaction. It's because transactions are made in seconds with one click without wasting consumers' time. It comes with the speed and simplicity. So this is one of the benefits, and convenience is there. Consumers can pay for items on e-commerce website at any time and anywhere. So the 24/7 model is there, where you don't have to wait for the credit card or the clearances, or the bank clearances. So the instant transfer is there. So they just need an internet connected device, as simple as that. So lower transaction costs are decreased, and technological costs are also going to be reduced. So the expenses control for customers, as they can always check their virtual accounts where they can find the transaction history. Today it's easy to add payment to a website, so even a non-technical person may implement it in minutes and start processing online payments. So this is the good part, because what in our previous lectures in a e-commerce I have talked about the startups. And for startups, this is definitely going to add a feather in a cap, because these startups companies can automatically enable this online payment platforms, and very easily they can generate their own wallets, and inviting the consumers to add their plastic money, which could be in the form of debit card or credit card. So payment gateways and payment providers offers highly effective security and anti-fraud tools to make transactions reliable. So once you follow because gateway is very important, and this is where this firewall and other cyber security is equipped. And when you hire a third party gateways, it is definitely going to help, because it's now their responsibility to take care about the transactions which are there. So these are certain benefits of using the e-payment system. And on the other hand, there are certain drawbacks, like e-commerce fraud is also going, and one has to take care of that, because how the gateways are developed, and it could be take care in that manner. So I think we have talked a lot about electronic payment systems, and we started with our first session on e-commerce. And when we talk about e-commerce, we have talked about many things, and starting from the advantages, disadvantages, and how the trends are going to be changed. And these trends are changing with the change of time, because the technology is providing consumers many things. It can provide consumers a platform, or provide them a roof that they can get the best price of the product, and within the fraction of seconds. So this is the beauty of e-commerce, that e-commerce can provide them an opportunity to explore the websites where the commodity or the price of the product is, as compared to the other players. So, and afterwards, the important ingredients, the electronic payment system, because if the payment system is not foolproof, if the payment system is not not okay, if the payment system is not designed or customized as per the consumer interests, there is a chances that consumer can switch over from that portion to other portions. And on the other hand, these payment gateways are helping in many ways. Electronic, sometimes the consumers buy the product, and when he refund the product, at how much time the money is going to be refunded, and where the money is going to come. Sometimes we observe that these e-commerce portals, once the product refund or replaced, they transfer the money in their wallet rather than transferring the money in the parent bank. From there the money had actually been come up. So this kind of challenge is there. Sometimes the consumers prefer that if the money had been debited initially from their bank, so it will be diverted to the bank, but it's not happened. They put the money in the wallet. So this is somewhere, some of the e-commerce portals have given a flexibility to by default transfer the money from the wallet to the banks directly, and some of the wallets are not equipped with this kind of features. So this is somewhere these things lacks. So one has to always think in the consumer centric manner, and try to find out the optimum way how the consumers are going to be benefited. And electronic fund transfer or electronic payment system is one step in this direction. I think we have a very elaborative session on this particular thing, and this is one of the important ingredients if you talk about the technology enabled business or the technology enabled model. And this is definitely a paradigm shift in this direction. Thank you very much.